guys, it's Thomas with the Top 40 Drummer, and today we're going to be looking at Tom Petty's song Free Fallin'. We're going to be working off the original studio recording featuring Phil Jones on drums off the album Full Moon Fever. Phil is an amazing drummer who's recorded with tons of musicians, including Tom Petty, Roy Orbison, Bob Dylan, Randy Newman, and many more. So make sure you visit his website and check out his full discography to get familiar with his playing. The drum part for this song really only has two grooves that we need to check out. The main groove, and the first one we'll look at today, sounds like this. So to break this drum groove down, we have eighth notes on a closed hi-hat, and then our snare drum will be on beats 2 and 4. So hands together with no bass drum will sound like this. Next, we need to add the bass drum. There's only two bass drums in this pattern, and the first one is on beat 1, and the second one is on the and of beat 2. So let's just check out the bass drum and the snare together without any hi-hat. Sounds like this. Once you have that down, try putting all three limbs together. That would sound like this. So that drum beat's going to be played the majority of the song until we get to verse 4. And that's where our second groove that we're going to check out today comes in. The second groove of this song is only between the bass drum and the snare drum. We'll be playing 16th notes on the snare just as singles, alternating right and left hand. It will sound like this. Next, let's add accents on beats 2 and 4 to that same pattern, and those will land on the right hand. The last step to learning this groove is to add the kick drum to that snare drum part. The kick pattern is the exact same as on our first variation and will be on beats 1 and the and of 2. This is going to be a little bit more tricky than the last variation because now we have those 16th notes going on the snare drum. I suggest practicing this really slowly and making sure everything is really clean and lined up. Also, if you want to take out the accents on the snare drum while you work out that coordination, that's fine too. The whole thing all together will sound like this. On both of these grooves, it's really important to keep that bass drum pattern consistent. If you listen to what's happening in the other instruments, especially the acoustic guitar and bass, the chords are changing on beat 1 and the and of 2. So to support that, we want to make sure our bass drum is consistent and always be listening to what's happening beyond the drum set. The last small detail we're going to check out in Free Falling is the fill that Phil plays. It's just a 3-note fill that comes in on beat 4 and will sound like this. Even though it's a really simple fill, I think it's important to learn it verbatim because band and audience members are going to be expecting it. It's just one of those classic rock fills that everybody knows, and if you do nail it, everyone in the band will know that you've done your homework and checked out the recording. The last tip I have for practicing these beats is to start slowly with a metronome and gradually work your way up to the recording tempo. The recording sits about 84 BPM, and I also recommend being able to play 5 to 10 BPM faster than the recording. The reason for this is if you're playing a live show and the band leader starts the song, they might start it too quickly or want to just to have a more energetic version, and you don't want to be at the edge of your abilities, and so having that buffer can really help out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that helped. If it did, please hit the like button down below. It really helps out the channel. Also, feel free to leave a comment if there's another song you'd like me to break down and help you learn. I'll be including a full free PDF that you can download in the description down below.